Shit. I'm trying to do something there and it just fell apart. I'm going to try that again. Sorry about this. Resume, yes. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I think I might have started that broadcast there with a bit of a whispered swear. But that's really saying something about what kind of week it's been for me this week. Oh my word. We are in Mercury retrograde. Oh, I haven't got my microphone on. Oh God. Okay, we're in Mercury retrograde from a few weeks ago, and it's going into January. And boy, I don't know how it's been for you, but I've really been feeling it. Hang on, let me just get my microphone on here. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, can't get that working either. That's how I was working with what we were going to do today, and I sat down to get it all ready, and this huge just wave of like tension and stress came over me. And quite often this happens when it's going to be a really good clearing. So I'm taking this as a good sign for all of us. So let's take a breath and welcome to the Earth Ascension Clearing meditation for today. We're going to be working with Ascended Master Sarah's Violet Flame. And today we are working with our energy. We are working with the roots that we grow down into the earth. So we're going to clear our energy. Then we're going to clear now. I'll say a little bit about this. I'm going to do a channeling. I'm going to do the exercise, and then I'm going to do channeling from Sarah afterwards. Maybe she'll say a bit more about this. But what I've been getting shown this week, and I've had sort of visions of it before, but I talk about something called an area of influence. And this is the area around where we live, where we kind of feel we have some ownership over it. Now, I'm not talking about like we feel like we own it, like a property thing. I'm not talking about money or material things. I'm talking about like if you walked past and something had happened, you would feel personally affected about it, like a wall had been knocked down, or I'm talking about like your area of influence is like the place where you walk quite often, or you go to places quite often, and in that way you have an energy connection to it. So for those of you who have cats, you know that your cat has a geographical area that it thinks it owns. And it's very clear. And for those of you who have had a cat and then lost a cat because they've passed, or they've, moved somewhere else or whatever, you know that then if you're sensitive to energy, you can feel that they withdraw that energy. So like one day their energy is like cast all over the house and into the surrounding area, into that area of influence. And then when they're gone, it disappears. We are the same. We are the same. We have a subtle influence energetically over the area where we live. And we put down lots of tiny like filaments of light in our area of influence, and we don't realize we do this. And this is a really unexplored area, because of course I was going to say of science, which it is, this is energy science, but we haven't got advanced enough to start like working all this stuff out. But what we're going to do today is clear through our bodies and then clear through that. So the shamans of old, they knew very well that they drew their power from the land. Now, the more you're clear and the more you're conscious of this connection, the more you root down into the land where you live. Now, there is also like a greater area of influence. So when I moved countries from the UK to Denmark, I went through a huge energy shift. And I went through a period where I was like, I just had colds and when I was exhausted for like months and months and months, maybe a year even. And then I've spoken to other people who've done the same thing and they've experienced the same thing. And also, I can remember reading something, Rudolf Steiner, where he says, when you move country, you actually grow yourself a new etheric body. So our energy bodies are actually also made up of the land from where we live, or the country even, because each country has its own energy, it has its own angel, it has a very special energy matrix, and when you move to another country you have to regrow that. So I'm kind of getting a little bit off the point there, but I'm just trying to get across the idea that we have such a lack of understanding of these things, and we're starting to really learn about them now and get them much more. So let us start with, so in the other meditations we've done, we've worked with like a specific area. Today that specific area is going to be us. So before I go any further, I just want to mention that next week I am going to be doing a bit of a talk with a friend of mine, Louise, on next Tuesday on the Violet Flame, and I'm going to be posting that video up on the Earth Ascension Clearing page and also on my profile. And then because next weekend is Black Friday, I'm going to be putting my Violet Flame course on a special offer just for that weekend. So in the talk with Louise, you're going to hear about like why Sarah's Violet Flame, because I mean there's just so much to use from it, and it's such a special frequency of energy. I could really like just specialize in it for like a year and talk about nothing else, but we're going to try and give like an overview of what that is, and also give you some ways of like working with it really simply, because it's so powerful and you can do it so easily. But then if you want to go into it more in depth, you can work with, I've got 2 classes on Learn It Live. I'll put the links in underneath. If you want to work in more depth, I've got techniques and symbols and all sorts of wonderful things to teach you that are so powerful. But anyway, I'll stop going on about that now. I am going to send out to you, I have created Sarah's Violet Flame temple here in the room where I'm sitting, and I'm going to send that out to you now. So close your eyes, take a deep breath. Calling upon Sarah and her angels, the angels of Violet Flame, Archangel Zadkiel. Also going to call on the Archangel Seraniel, who is one of Sarah's angels and is the keeper of the divine spark flame. And they are placing that temple around each and every one of you that is watching today and will be watching in the future. So like I said, it's really wonderful to have this clearing with the Mercury retrograde, because we're being called to like clear a lot of stuff. All the old stuff, all the stuff we don't need anymore, it can go. And when you're watching this in the future and it's not Mercury retrograde, you are going to get the benefit of this coming through really powerfully, because the more we need it, the more Spirit send it through for us. Now, I want you to take your attention to your physical body. Your physical body. Notice the space that you occupy. Just keep your awareness there on your physical body. So we're just focusing on the physical body right now. Now, I'm going to show you, same as in the other meditations we've done, I'm going to show you these 4, I call them earth amethysts. They are amethysts in their raw form, and they have each been programmed with a symbol. Now, because I'm connecting with these, and because you can see them, you can also borrow their energy qualities. Okay? And I want you to imagine that each one of these is around you in a square or a rectangle, whatever feels good to you. Okay? You kind of like plugging them in. I sort of imagine them going in and going dung, 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 dung. As you plug them in, they connect up to each other. So you can imagine a line of violet flame. So you should have 4 lines around you now. And then those lines of energy start building up and creating a wall going up. And the wall is coming up to the top, just a bit over your head. And then this space starts to fill up with little sparkles of Sarah's violet flame. Now, Sarah's violet flame, it's more of a lilac colour. So there's a bit of extra white in there, there's a bit of extra pink. It can shift depending on what it's doing and what it's needed for. It's perfectly balanced, this violet flame, between the male and the feminine, because it's in oneness, it's in unity oneness like Sarah. This is clearing your energy body now. Then I want you to imagine that square or rectangle expanding out. So a bit like, you know, when you do a crop on a photo, if you've ever done that, and you sort of press it in and the square goes in, now you're going out. Imagine you touching that line and extending all of those lines out. And I want you to make it quite large. At least, it's going further than your house. Maybe if you have a local shop or something that you walk to, a local place where you go with your dog, expand it out as far as that even. So it's going quite big. And this is because your energy connections down from your Earth star, which is underneath your feet and is the way you anchor your life force, your incarnation in this lifetime to the Earth. Well, your Earth star is kind of responsible for creating all of these lines of light that go out into your neighborhood area. And I want you to imagine that these crystals, these earth amethysts, are expanding out. It's really up to you how far it goes, but it needs to be a place in your local area where you're connected to, and go as far as that, and then make the grid, the square or the rectangle, reach out there with you still in it. Now, because you have this grid, because you have these lines of light that you have been building up unconsciously for however long you've lived where you live. This is also the earth elementals. They connect with you through this grid. Okay. Now, you may or may not be conscious of the earth elementals where you live, but they know you. If you do this kind of work, if you're sensitive to energies, they know you. They can see your energy signature, and they know you're here to do clearing and healing work on the earth, and they are much more open to you than they are to your average person. Now, clearing your grid in this way that we're doing today makes it easier for you to have a connection and contact with them. Okay? Now, we just have a little bit of water. I'll just go quiet for a moment. I want you to just sit and just feel this violet flame energy, Sarah's violet flame energy that you're in. Just feel Sarah's violet flame through your whole body, and you can call on her angels to help you with any bits that are difficult or stuck. And you can just imagine any dark places of energy in you just dissolving into that violet flame, just like evaporating, like a cloud evaporating in the sunshine. That's it. That's really good. That's really nice. Okay. And then the same with the roots underneath your feet. Like lots of little filaments of light spreading out from you into the area around you. Also see the violet flame clearing and cleansing everything that needs to go from there. That's it. Just letting it go. It's just disappearing. Now we're going to bring in, I like to contact with the energy of this Herkimer diamond. If you can see this here. Now this has a very bright energy that helps us connect to the center of ourselves. So imagine you're connecting to this energy, feel this energy of the Herkimer diamond, bring it in right to the center of yourself, which causes an amazing light, okay, because you're connecting to your divine spark. And from this place, you can start to weave a web of light, create and send out lines of light, however way you imagine it. If you don't see it or feel it, just have the intent that you're sending it out. And send it out over that area that you've cleared today. You will raise the vibration by doing this. Send this out over the area that you've cleared. This beautiful energy. That's it. That's great. Okay. Now, in a moment, I'm going to channel from Sarah. I want you to sit and stay in these energies. I'm going to channel from Sarah and see what she has to say. But I also want to mention that on Learn It Live, I have classes that teach you how to create this Ascension Grid over your own home, where you can keep it there permanently, because these energies need to be built and then grounded and then anchored. What we're doing today, it will work for now and then it will dissipate. But you can learn some really wonderful techniques where you can keep this going all the time. And it creates a wonderful sanctuary from the outside world where your ascension process and your spiritual process can go a little easier, because your energy body isn't having to constantly battle heavier vibrations. Okay, so I'll go quiet for a moment and then I'm going to channel Sarah. Welcome, I'm Sarah. I expand my love, my light out to each and every one of you. Blessings are upon you. I would say that it is important for you to know and to remember that your feet have walked on the earth before, and in ancient times created beautiful lines of light. The earth is at a turning point now. The vibration has been raised enough work has been done so that we come to a tipping point on the earth where once again the earth grid, the ley lines, the song lines, the ascension lines can start to be engineered once again. Of course, this is a co-creation between you and the elemental kingdom and the angelic kingdom, the Davic kingdom, and all of the creator beings and ascended masters, and also beings from other planets. All of those beings of light who are here to work in this wonderful experiment that is Earth. You all have within you creator souls, earth engineering souls. And although your first responsibility is always to keep your own energy body clear and to work with your own spiritual, emotional, mental, physical processes and take care of yourself, once you are in a ready state, then your responsibilities are to move further out into your society and to work with, as your talents lead you, the collective unconscious, the collective conscious, and all the earth grid. Because it is time now for new matrices to be created. It is time now for this work to be done. You know if I am calling you. You know if you can hear me. I am speaking to you. And for those of you who are ready to do this work, be honest with yourself as to whether you are ready to do this work or whether you need more time. But in my lives on earth, in the different incarnations I had, I was able to work in the different epochs, working with creating places of power. I have placed seeds in the earth grid. There is much work to be done, and I invite you to join me and to learn these techniques which I am teaching. I am Sarah, and through this channeling I am also giving you my energy blessings. I am Sarah. I am here to help and to assist and walk by your side. But you are at the centre. You are the ones coming into mastery who can weave all of these wonderful creations. I am Sarah, and these are the things that I wish to speak to you today. My blessings are upon you. Blessed be, blessed be, Blessed be. Amen. Okay, so I can see I lost one of my cameras there, but it's all happened on here, and hopefully that's all been recorded. I've gone a bit over time, but thank you for being here. Keep an eye out for on the Earth Ascension Clearing page for the talk me and Louise are going to be doing about the violet flame. If you're not on Facebook, sign up to my newsletter. That's on rachelgoodwin.dk, and then go onto the Sarah page and scroll down, and you can sign up to the newsletter there on the bottom. Otherwise, you can look on my profile, Rachel Goodwin, on Facebook, or the Earth Ascension Clearing page. But thank you very much for being here today. We had a few technical problems, but hey, at least one of my recordings worked. See you next time. Bye for now.